Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, depending upon where you live around the world. I might be correct in saying this is my fifth or sixth attempt at making this particular video. And the reason for that is, one, my meandering chat at times, but that's as a result of going deeper and deeper into trying to explain, as well as I'm able, the situation at hand. I'll try and keep that to a minimum. But this one is perhaps easily seen by the top left-hand corner, a redraw for the video, the one I'm making, the method for accuracy. Yeah, about that. If you have seen or watched any of the other videos, I do make some bold statements about how clever I am at how my process permits me to get very accurate models, or the necessity, rather, for making the effort to make accurate models, especially in this geodesic type situation where I do a lot of cut, paste, rotate, change, and then reposition different items, such as, in this case, a hub for the ends of the struts. Yeah. And I make use of this honeycomb, which is highly accurate, which means I can rely on it for when I manipulate said hubs and struts and different components. I have started to, quite recently, alter the way I look at the measurements and the precision therein, and that's done so that any error is shown if you dial up the fractions of your millimetre or inches or whatever you use, which I've done here, and sometimes it catches me out. Now, I hope, altered this the honeycomb, so that when I place my hubs, they are in the right place. But by way of explanation, I'm going to, this is a common point for all of these lines, show you what I'm talking about. So I come up to the end of that line there, and I look in the bottom right hand corner, and I can see it is exactly 4.5 meters, or the way I have it shown, 4,500 millimeters, point nothing. There's no fractions added there, so you could say that is perfect to that length. Now I go to these other points, and they too share all that same measurement. Come down here, yes, that one there is out again, and this is just impossible because I have altered it to be exact. Now it's 1,000th of a millimeter. I believe it's something to do with the program, because I have altered said line twice and checked it, and it is perfect. Everything else, you go, no, but 1,000th of a millimeter is like a fraction of the thickness of a human hair. I'm going, yeah, I know, but when you do something, you gain confidence in its ability to do what you tell it to do. So why is it that tiny bit out? Not important, really. Honestly, it's not important in the scheme of things and in real life, out in the workshop, because even an engineer would probably be going, oh, that's pretty accurate, Dave. And I'm going, yeah, but you can see that I'm a bit pedantic about this. But I've had it where there's bigger errors. Now I'm going to put that aside for now, because I am going to have to chase that down, because I know that that's wrong, and I don't know why. And it means redrawing all the faces that line shares. So annoyed. Very interested to see that happen, because when I closed this program, it wasn't there. Isn't that interesting? Anyway, that's not the real issue, but it was, after all, part to do with the accuracy. It came about by me making the silly statement that, oh, isn't it interesting, when I make these rays here, these lines, they show the, the intersection of the two struts. Yeah, not really. I come up here, and because I'm using 90 by 45 timbers, I draw down at 90 degrees to this line here, a line, and I try and get it to look like that, with the purple line highlighting that I'm moving away from it at 90 degrees. So the software is telling me that I'm doing it correctly. I type in my measurement of 90 for the framing thickness, and I get the intersection point here. Ah, that's interesting. I have in the past done this. So when I intersect those two lines, I know I've got a perfect mitre here. Should that be what I want? No, don't do that. And that's what I had been doing, out of some sort of, I don't know, but I'll just get rid of that. What you must do for accuracy is to do the same thing. Come down here with your guide, try and get, yeah, there we go. So I'll type it in, always type it in, and do that. And you're going, well, Dave, you've just achieved the same thing. They are aligning, and that is the mitre, if you wanted, for the ends of the struts. Oh no, it is not. The mitre would have to be out here, the ends would be out here, so therefore this strut and this strut don't have a common mitre or angle where they join at the bottom. Now, they do, on all of them, align with the top. Why? Because that is where I'm going to generate the dihedral angles, and should I put a rigid cladding on it, of the dome, then these surfaces need to be in the correct geometric place. Now, I do something a little bit different again, but nonetheless, you've got to base all of your drawings upon solid foundation. And what I have here is, if I can just, so I can bring the colours up, you can see that I've got an outline of the strut, and there's this difference here. Not much, but if you were using the guidelines like I was saying, and if I delete that and doing this, you're wrong. And it's that process which is important. So yes, you can rely on your program to be accurate if you use it properly. And I wasn't. So I'll get rid of the guides. I'll bring back up the strut outlines. So what I did then, once I had established accurate full length struts, or the outline of the strut, I took a center line from here, from the ray. The same thing, I move my cursor until, if I can, show that, there we go, and I type in 57, because that is the radius of the hub, and I do it in both directions, 57, and I put in those lines on my outlines on my struts. That's all I'm calling them, so that when I extrude or expand the strut, I use these lines, points, to create the strut, and I wind up with, if I have that. So you can see that if I were to maybe change my plans slightly and I wasn't able to get that particular sized hub, I can easily alter the outlines and create new struts, or move the ends of the struts into the correct position. So that was a process that can benefit if you want to alter your struts at some stage. Also means that if I wanted to have, instead of a 90, look down the bottom right hand corner, perfectly 90, I can type in 140, which is the other size up in depth for the framing that we have available here, and then I can create my same sort of process to create the struts and create for the 140, or change the hub size. So you can see that little exercise is worth it, but it has to be done dead right, and I hadn't, and that was why I'm making this video. And then when I came across a couple of other things, I wound up being a bit puzzled, like I am here, why that line isn't exactly, and I've been here before. I go, well, why is it now exactly right? What is it picking up? Whereas before we knew it was out by 1/1000th of 1 millimeter. Nothing, even for an engineer. So let's get rid of the outlines. After all, they're all made off of this honeycomb. Put that line back in. Where's that 1/1000th? If, I know I'm belaboring the point, if I make these outlines from the honeycomb, how can they be different? Literally, that's a question. I come up here, perfect. It can't happen, but it does, and because we're talking about such a small amount, do we just ignore it? Well, I counted that. I actually redrew the damn thing. Line, this is all the common point, that's why they're there. Exactly right. Exactly right. Well, so it should be, because it was all designed off of that honeycomb. You say, David, get in touch with the real world. I go, yeah, I know, but because, as I said, this is not always just 1/1000th of a millimeter, it can be more. Where am I doing anything wrong, or what is the program doing that I'm unaware of? Got no answer for that. So am I worried about it? No, I'm annoyed with it, but I'm going to carry on anyway, because it doesn't really manifest itself in any real way. Now if I just put the hubs in and get rid of the outlines, I have on the hub this tiny little line, which at that point there is the theoretical same length. So let's put the line in, bottom right hand corner, it's perfect. So how can I get these? You can see that I have a rather odd life, but how can I get everything else perfect off of the honeycomb that then shows up an anomaly of that one tiny fraction of a millimeter? I've got no idea. So am I going to do anything about it? Probably not. Right, that, delete, just tidying it up because it shouldn't have been there. Righty-ho, that's it. Did you learn anything? No, except be careful of your process, even if you think that you're a bit of a clever clogs like I did, and I was using the guides in a inappropriate manner. Now I can use it in a appropriate manner and get my drawings a little bit more accurate. Yes, I know. Anyway, it's Saturday, just turned midday, and a cup of tea is screaming for me to go get it. So I'll leave you alone, and I'll see you in the next one. Okay, bye now.